Hi guys, welcome back to my book channel. If you're new here, my name's Hannah. Hello. I won't lie, I've been struggling with reading the past few days actually. I think it's because I'm mixing reading this 1984 with a audiobook as well as just reading it normally, and also the fact I feel dumb reading this book. Anyway, today's video is going to be, I don't know if this tag has a name, but it was originally created by Ariel Bisset. I've actually never watched her videos, but I got my questions on video, and it's questions on your reading habits, which seems quite fun. So let's get into the video. Question number 1 is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? I kind of just read everywhere. I think I'm most comfortable reading like tucked up in bed, but I read in the bath, actually I'd say I read in the conservatory more than I read in the living room, because like the living room I just find myself getting distracted. There's not like a certain place. I don't just, I don't have a reading nook, let's just say. I'd love to have a reading nook where you just sit on a comfy chair with a blanket and have a bookcase, but I don't have that, so I'd kind of just read in bed or in the conservatory because there's a comfy sofa in there. The only downside of the conservatory is it's so cold in winter. Number 2 is a bookmark or random piece of paper. So this book currently has a little bit of plastic in it. I don't actually know what this is. I think it's like a child separator or something. I don't know. Because I had dog-eared a page of this book, and my boyfriend walked past the book that was on the table, saw that I'd dog-eared the book, and he undog-eared it and put this bit of plastic in so I wouldn't lose my page. So I do have a bookmark, but I've lost it, so I guess random bit of paper, or I would dog-ear it, but that annoys my boyfriend, so he'll just correct it for me. I don't know. Question number 3 is, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter / a certain amount of pages? I think it depends on the length of chapters. Like if a chapter's only like 2 paragraphs and then it's the next chapter, then I mean I'll just carry on. But if a chapter's like over 20 pages long, I can't stop in the middle of a chapter that long, because once I go back to it I would have forgotten what has happened. Like my memory is so bad that I would literally forget what I had just read if I picked it up again, stopping in the middle of a chapter. I'd be like, I have no idea what's happening, and then I'd feel the need to go reread it again. So no, I have to finish the page or the chapter. Do you eat or drink while reading? It kind of depends. I always seem to have a coffee like to the side whilst I'm reading, but I hardly ever sit and eat with one hand and turn the pages with another and have a snack in the other hand. I don't really do that because I feel like it would just ruin the book, and some people are all about that, ruining the book, and makes it look red and worn down, and I don't really snack and read. I think if I'm snacking whilst I'm reading, I'm like, okay, like you finish a chapter, have a snack, and you can carry on going for like another few hours whilst reading. So not really, no. I always have a coffee or a tea nearby, but I don't really eat whilst reading at the same time. Multitasking, music or TV while reading. Ooh, I used to not be able to read whilst there was any sound at all. I would not be able to concentrate on what I was reading if there was so much background noise. I'd have to make everything silent. Like the TV couldn't be on, I couldn't listen to music, because it would just distract me from the reading the story. Like I think my brain is quite like visual in when I'm reading a story, so like it would confuse me. So neither, because I genuinely can't concentrate. unless it's like a story I've read before and I kind of know what's going to happen. Like I think, say if I reread like The Hunger Games with background noise because I just know that story so well, but I'm personally someone that I can't read with any background noise. It just distracts me, and then I just start procrastinating from reading, and then I'll feel like I've done no reading, even if I've been reading for like 2 hours and I've only read like 3 chapters because I've been distracted by music. So no. One book at a time or several at once. I wish I was a person that could read more than one book at a time, but I feel like my memory is just really bad, and I would get so confused, and I like merge the 2 stories together. Like, example, I'm currently reading 1984, and I've never read this book before. That rhymed. And I'm only on page 87, and I feel, because this book is so, like, it's a lot for me. If that makes me dumb, I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on another story, even if it was a different genre. Like, I really, really want to read this book called The Chain, which I've had for like 6 months, and it's been on my to be read list. It wasn't even on my to be read list in January, but I keep thinking in the back of my head, oh, I need to read The Chain because everyone on Bookstagram is raving about it. But I wouldn't be able to concentrate on more than one storyline at a time. Yeah, I'm a bit like that with watching TV shows as well. Like, I have to get through one series before I start a new one. I'm currently watching Designated Survivor, and that's kind of taken up all my time. I highly recommend that show if you're into like politics and the White House and all that stuff. Question number 7 is reading at home or reading everywhere? Well, the current situation of the world is you should be reading at home because nowhere is open. I did used to be a person that would go sit in like a cafe and have a coffee and read like a few chapters if I was waiting for someone. I used to never be able to do this because I get really travel sick. Like, I wouldn't be able to read a book on a bus or like a train, but now if I was going on a bus or a train now, I would be able to read. Like, I'd much rather read a chapter on my journey than listen or something like that. So I kind of read everywhere, really. Not literally everywhere. I can't read, like, I can't do more than 2 things at once. You know, the people that read whilst brushing their teeth? My brain is just, I'd drop the toothpaste, I'd get it all over the book, I'd ruin the book, and then I'd be really sad. So yeah, I just kind of read wherever is acceptable to read. I don't know. Question number 8 is reading out loud or silently in your head. I think I've tried reading out loud like once, and I would keep messing up, or I'd keep going over the same sentence, and then I'd get frustrated because I was speaking out loud and not pronouncing a word correctly, and then I'd just be really annoyed. So definitely silently in my head. I feel like I just read quicker that way. Question 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? No. I think everyone does occasionally. Like, if you can like kind of foresee what you think is going to happen. Like, example, I read lots of thrillers and crime and mystery genre, so I feel like if you read a lot of those, it becomes pretty obvious when you've read like the same story over and over again in so many circumstances. Like, the 3 books that I'm thinking of right now are One by One by Ruth Ware, The Guest List, and Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. They all follow the same sort of storyline, like, you know, group of friends on a desert island somewhere, tragedy, they all go missing or something happens to people. So, like, obviously it's pretty predictable. So sometimes I accidentally read ahead and I'm like, oh, that was obvious. But I don't know. So the answer to that question is no. I don't skip pages. I feel like if I skipped pages I'd be even more confused, and I'm easily confused, so yeah. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new? I'm a bit of both with these, I have to say. like I said, my brother's the opposite to me in how he likes to keep books, but I'm much more like, I'll dog ear a page if I don't have a little bookmark nearby. I feel like obviously with this with classic books I don't feel the need to break the spine, but I don't think there's any books on my shelf. Actually, this one is by, I love when books get like, you know, colouring. Like this book has been under my bed for several years and it's only come out because I got a bookshelf for my birthday last year. So this is The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and as you can see it's very well loved. Like, it's very, very well loved indeed, and there's like pages that I've obviously really liked these chapters because pages are falling out, and this spine is very broken. I feel like, because if you're really into a story you want to, like, you know, be comfy whilst you're reading it. But the only spine I wouldn't, obviously because you can't really break hardback spines, so it's a yes and no question, I guess. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends how much I like the story, to be fair. I think this book is very well loved. I didn't really like the movie that much, but I've not watched this movie in absolutely years. Well, did that even make sense? Absolutely years? No. The correct English is absolute years. But yeah, sometimes I break the spine, sometimes I don't. Just do what you want. It's your book, you bought it, you spent money on it. If you're not going to resell it, why not? Keep it as a keepsake in your little, I don't know, one day I want like a little library, or like a little wall that is like a little library with a little reading chair. But yeah, do you write in your books? No. I've never written in a book. I don't think I've ever written in a book ever, actually. I'm not someone that like annotates a book at all. I don't know why. I just never have written in a book, and I don't really understand why people write in books. I guess if you're like studying literature and you have to annotate the book, then that makes a lot of sense. But like, I'm not really gonna start writing in, I mean, I could write in a book that I didn't really like and just write on the front page why. But I don't really annotate books, no, I don't. I feel like that would make me feel as if I'd ruined the book. Pass it down to like someone else and then they can read what you've written, see if they have the same opinion as you. But so the answer to the last question is no, I don't annotate my books. Anyway, this was, again, I don't know what this tag is called. I'm just gonna call it Reading Habits. Not my idea, originally from Ariel Bisset. I'll link her below and I'll link below. I'm pretty sure you all know who she is, like she's a queen of booktube. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!